So, hello students, we are going to see something today very important for electric vehicle, that is BMS. BMS is one of the important component in case of electric vehicle, and many people say that BMS is quite difficult to design for electric vehicle battery storage system. But personally, if I feel it's not so tough, okay, and some people used to say about this is that is energy management system also, EMS. So whether it is EMS or BMS, it is very important and required component in case of electric vehicle or any battery storage system, whether it is connected to the grid, whether it is used for mobile communication, whether it is for satellites, whether it is for your mobile tower, whether it is for your any drones or maybe any vehicle, or whether it is used for your house. So, battery management system or the energy management system is quite important, and though it adds some cost to the overall battery pack, it is one of the necessary component, one of the important part of battery storage system. Well, many manufacturers used to give this, BMS, and BMS varies from varieties of battery storage system, and it is related to the some parameters. Then you can replace the BMS. Okay, so when you go into the market and you want to buy BMS, you require some specifications to say, like the battery voltage rating is there, what our rating is there, number of series and parallel cells are there, and how much current it is going to be utilized for charging and discharging. That is your C rate of the battery pack is there, then the life cycle is there, and the type of battery which you are going to use. So all these parameters are important while you purchase or design BMS. Okay, let us see something one by one. Cost is associated with battery management. So, BMS will increase the cost of the battery pack. Still, it is needed. Why? Okay. So, let us see. One thing is in electric vehicle is the battery pack is very, very, very large. So, the weight, the power density, the energy density, high voltage, and high current, it is there in electric vehicle battery storage system. So, all looking all these parameters, it is very important to manage, as the battery is very costlier, as the battery is the key component of the electric vehicle. The management of it is very, very important, and that is why we need battery management. Okay, and that is why we need BMS, or you can say EMS. Well, before we proceed, for battery management system designing and understanding, I request you to look into these two videos of the same channel, that is types of electric vehicle and the design of battery storage system. So whenever you design or go into the market to purchase BMS, you must know these two things. Okay, the type of electric vehicle where you are using the battery storage, and the battery pack designing. So the fundamental design of battery pack. Both the videos are available in the same channel. Before you understand BMS, try to watch these two videos. Okay. Now let us see about BMS. So what will BMS do? BMS is going to help us basically in safety. Okay, safety of users and safety of the battery itself. BMS is a kind of embedded circuit. Okay, it's a kind of embedded system where inputs are of some of the parameters and expected output is there as a control signals. Okay, so BMS is a purposefully built electronic plus processing unit which enables specific applications. What are those? Let us see into the depth. So here in the picture you can see BMS is a circuit which is an embedded circuit, and it is taking input like sensing different parameters like current, voltage, and temperature. Okay, and there will be a two-way communication towards the battery as well as to other parameters. So BMS a system which takes the sensing signals like voltage, current, and temperature. On the other side, it is going to estimate. So BMS incorporates one of the important function, that is estimating what? SOC, state of charge; SOH, state of health; thermal management control system, whether it is required for cooling purpose, whether it is required for heating purpose; and power optimization. So the operating point must be at the optimized level, and the life cycle of the battery can be increased. And one of the important another function, that is displaying what? Displaying the range. Displaying what? Displaying the voltage level. Okay. So BMS is going to help us, or it's going to be output signal, like displaying the SOC, SOH, optimized point operating, and the commands for the thermal system as well as to the electric drives. Okay. While inputs are going to be voltage, current, and temperature depending on the type of vehicle which you are using, depending on the type of battery pack which you are using. So this is BMS overall. Now let us see, the various functions as we had already discussed some of them. First is sensing voltage, current, and temperature, and can control all the three. So while you are charging and discharging the battery, that means if the battery pack is in use, there will be control of V, I, and T as per the reference signals given. Second function is protection of whom? Protection of the battery itself, protection of the electric vehicle users in case if there is abnormal voltage, abnormal current, and abnormal temperature. So BMS will give the control signal, especially to isolate the circuit, or either to cut off the circuit when there is abnormal voltage, current, and temperature. Also, BMS helps in interfacing for data, estimation of various parameters, and displaying different things. Okay. So while suppose you start your electric vehicle, and it will display the recorded data, and accordingly it will display the range of the vehicle, right? It will also help to operate overall electric vehicle in optimum efficiency. Okay, BMS will also help to improve, diagnose the battery life, that is life cycle, and the health of the battery. So these are the very, very important functions of BMS. And while you design BMS of any kind of battery storage pack, you require to take care of these five functions. Okay. I repeatedly tell you, it depends on the types of electric vehicle and the battery pack which you are using. So number of parallel cells, series cells, type of battery, okay, whether it is lead acid, lithium ion, nickel metal hydride, depending on that, BMS communication will be changing. Okay. Well, this is block diagram of BMS. Here you can see that the battery management is having the key inner initiation block, that is battery monitoring of what? Battery monitoring of voltage, current, and temperature. Okay. So the data related to voltage, current, and temperature will be used for estimating, okay, or determination purpose for various parameters as SOC, SOH, and the temperature. Now, based on this estimation, we interface the data to display. We generate, control signals for the electric drives or for the chargers. Okay. On the contrary, sometimes it happens that if there is an accident and some grounding or earthing happen, or maybe the terminal is touched to the chassis, then in that case it will automatically isolate. So BMS gives command for the isolation of the battery from the original, or from the um, faulty condition. Okay, it also generates the control signal for thermal management, whether you require cooling or whether you require heating. Okay, both, yeah, both cooling and heating. So this is the overall block diagram of BMS. So whenever it is asked about the block diagram, you have to put this and write down the individual blocks, and that is very important for you for the description purpose, and this can be asked of 3 to 4 marks. Okay, there are various types of BMS. One is centralized BMS and distributed BMS. So we'll see these in detail in the coming lectures. A centralized BMS is depending on the overall pack number of cells used. Okay, and distributed BMS depends on the parallel or maybe series monitoring and series controlling. So you may say, in other words, that is cell balancing, okay, cell protection, maybe link to link, parallel link, maybe to series to series. We'll see this in detail in the coming lectures. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Subscribe my channel, that is Dr. C D Upadhyay for electric vehicle, and those who have already subscribed, thank you very much for being connected to me. Okay. Thank you.